Lads, lassies, welcome back to YouTube. And today, welcome to another kind of podcast style video. Basically, we're on full lockdown now in Ireland, so just going to keep these ones going for a while. And this one is a pretty good one. It's with Harley Clifford, an absolute legend of the sport, 8-time world champion. He's won probably more events than anyone else out there. And he's an absolute gent. He's just after getting married. He has a kid on the way. So it's exciting times for him. And so this is basically the podcast with him. I hope you enjoy it. Let us know in the comments who you would like next on the podcast, and I'll do my best to get them. But for now, enjoy, and thank you for watching.
Cool. So I believe we're rolling. We're live. Harley Clifford. How's life? Life is you're a ray of positivity at the moment, whilst the world is in doom.
Oh my, yeah, we have a lot going on right now over here in Oz. But yeah, I just got married. The lady is pregnant. We just moved into a new house. So I'm pretty stoked on life right now. But all this crazy stuff's going on. That's going on. It's definitely putting a little bit of a damper on it. But trying to just stay positive and be there for everyone. And
and it must be like at the same time, it's hard to feel down. Obviously, if all that sick stuff's going on, and like obviously you've been together for how long now?
Yeah, it's been an 8-year journey so far.
Wow. Okay. Sick. Okay. Because that's mad.
Yeah.
And because we spoke about this earlier in the year when I came over and filmed with you. And because you're the same age as me, aren't you? You're 26.
26. Yeah. 26. Going on 27 this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's mad. I couldn't even think I'm so far from that. You make me feel like I'm a child.
Yeah. Right.
But how's it been? Is married life any different to normal life? That was actually, I put up a Q&A thing earlier. And someone was like, ask him how married life is.
Okay, well, we've really been put to the test because we've been basically on lockdown this first week, not really leaving the house and doing all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, way to put it to test on week 1. But I mean, yeah, maybe she has me a little bit more by the nuts now.
And what about with the wedding? Because in Ireland, I know, do you know Paul Johnson? I don't know if you remember him. His wedding's been cancelled or postponed now till next year because of this.
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, we probably should have rethought it, but at the time we were pretty just let's get this wedding done. We can't wait. We put so much effort in for the past year, but we got really lucky. At the weekend that we had it, they on the Friday they enforced a law that there was no gatherings larger than 100 people, and because of what was going on, we had a bunch of our US friends pull out and all that sort of stuff. So we had under 100 people, which was nice. We're at 90 people.
Okay.
And then we had perfect weather all weekend. Everything was just amazing. We rented a really cool beach house. So we did the wedding on the Saturday, best night of my life. And then we went and we rented a beach house for the weekend. So we did a Sunday hangover party and everyone came back over and we had a good time there. And then on the Monday, they passed a new rule saying that there was no more gatherings more than 5 people. And you weren't allowed to get married with more than 5 people. So it was just the celebrant, the bride, the groom, and then your 2 witnesses, and that's it.
No way. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's mad. And so that was is that in the church, or is that a separate, is that a legal thing? Sorry, Mike. I don't really know much about it.
A legal thing, I guess, for any wedding.
Okay.
Yeah, just while this is all going on.
The timing of that is I'm going to say, go ahead and say that nearly perfect.
Yeah. And all my friends have been messaging me since it's all been done. And they're like, oh my God, we're so glad your wedding was on the weekend because now we just had to give up our lives.
Yeah,
it was a really good send off before we got stuck in isolation.
Absolutely. And do you live on the water? Can you ride from your house?
Oh, so I used to live on the water, but then I just moved to the beach 3 weeks ago.
Okay, unreal.
So now
on the
I
beach.
I don't live on the beach, but I live a minute walk from the beach. But where I ride is probably 20-minute drive from here.
Okay, so can you ride now? Are people riding in Australia through this? Because I feel like you're kind of in isolation on the water.
Yeah, you can definitely ride. I think even the guys in Florida that are really, I think they just locked down Florida. Well, I don't know what the rules are over there, but I know they're locking down county after county. And I think Steel Lafferty and those guys are in a county where it's locked down. And I just saw him out on the boat this morning. So
yeah, but I mean, I guess it makes sense. You can go to gas stations and you're in, just if it's people you live with or whatever. Yeah, that's sick. That's mad.
I don't see why not.
Yeah,
but yeah, I was planning on going riding this afternoon. So
no way. I'm so jealous. There's no way. I live an hour and a half from where you can ride here. You can't even ride anywhere because it's winter. But also now we have a 2 kilometer lockdown. Like, can't leave the house. I can't go for a walk. Like, even with people I live with or anything. Like, it's properly like nothing, shut down for 2 weeks.
Is it similar to I was speaking to my friend from Italy the other day, and he was saying that he's in a red zone, and only one person is allowed to leave the house at a time, or not at a time, once a day out of the whole group of the house, and they're only allowed to go to a grocery store or a pharmacy, and they're only allowed out for an hour. Like, they have like a security guard at the door, like limiting them on how long they can leave the house for.
Wow, no, we're not that bad. Italy's, I think, but they need to be. I think we all need to be. Like, it sucks and it's a huge inconvenience, but at the same time, I do think it's the only way. Like, we're gonna get over it, really, when it's the only way it'll get under control in my mind, I think.
Oh, 100%. I'm all about it. Like, everyone's health is way more of a priority than everyone's money and all that sort of stuff, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're being good, to be fair. Obviously, being self-employed sucks, but they're being really good to, like, people who are losing their jobs. They've upped the welfare payments, like, massively, and it's pretty good. But anyway, I'm not gonna. We're not people. I know. Yeah. I'm more interested, like, so where I was thinking of going about this, and it's something because I've done this now with the Peacock Brothers and Sean Murray, and like, I think the thing that I've seen in the comments that people are interested in or that have found it fascinating in those kind of conversations was like where it all started from. Because obviously you've been around so long. Like, you probably don't remember, but I first met you in Qatar in 2012, and at that stage you were
I remember
you were fairly established already at that time. So you've been in it, like, I'm gonna say at a top level probably at least 10 years.
Yeah, so, like, I think kind of by the age I was I think 12. Like, I started to kind of make a name for myself in this sort of world.
It's like 14 years. Okay, so where did it go way back to, like, little baby Harley? Like, how did it all start in the wakeboarding and all that?
Okay, yeah, little baby Harley. It first started, I was 5 years old the first time I ever hopped on a wakeboard. Actually, maybe 6. I was actually kind of, like, really tentative to do it at first. I was, out of my 2 brothers, I was like the one that was the softest and was like, I don't want to do it, Mom and Dad, I don't want to do it. And then one day, like, my little brother was doing it, my older brother was doing it, and I was just like, I'll give it a go. And then, like, just like that, I instantly just fell in love. And it was kind of like a family thing for us. Well, for many years, until I kind of, like, started traveling and doing all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we had a boat. My parents water skied a bit, and my older brother and younger brother, we kind of all just went out there, would mess around behind the boat, like, every day after school and do that sort of stuff. So that's kind of where it started. And I guess, like, I probably started competing at like 7 or 8. We just had a friend, like my dad's best mate, ran all the local wakeboard competitions and stuff up in down in New South Wales. So we kind of got into wakeboarding and then got into the contest scene through him. And then just having an older brother and a younger brother, I guess I never really wanted my younger brother to get good or better than me. And then I always wanted to be as good as my older brother, because for a while, like, my older brother was a lot better than me.
And your brothers are decent. I've seen some videos on, like, Instagram, like, just stories, and, like, they're pretty good.
Yeah. They actually ripped. Like, they kind of slowly gave it up. My older brother, like, had an ACL Rico when he was pretty young, and then he didn't wakeboard for a while after that, and then he blew it again. Like, he came out with me one day. I think he was probably like 20 years old, and he was like, yeah, I'll mess around, I'll try Tootsie Roll, and blew it again. So that was kind of the end of his little wakeboarding career. But yeah, my little brother's really good. He can do like 7s and chronos and all that sort of stuff. But they love it, but they just don't care to, like, pursue it or do anything like that.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, I mean, like, originally they both were better than me. Like, they had more talent than me. They were probably better than me, but they just didn't have the drive and like love for it like I did. So I kind of just kept going down the path that I was going on. And yeah, I guess, I don't know, I started, like, in Australia, I started, like, making a name for myself when I was pretty young. Like, I was like 8 maybe, and I, like, jumped up to, like, the 10 to 13 boys instead and, like, competed with them. And then I did, like, 1 year with them, and I would have only been 9, and I was like, I jumped up to, like, the 15 to 19-year-old, which you'd classify as junior men. So I started competing against them, and I would, like, win nationals and do all that sort of stuff. And I don't know how much people really liked it, a 9-year-old beating, like, 18-year-olds and stuff like that. But
it's an ego punch, yeah. And then what age? Because you moved to America young, and, like, you moved away from your family as well, didn't you?
So the first year I did that, like, for the whole summer, I was 15.
That's insane.
No, I was 14 going on 15.
Wow.
So I just kind of had a talent, and I was already like well known in the States and all that sort of stuff. And I was like sponsored by Liquid Force, and I think at the time I was probably even getting paid by Liquid Force. So it was kind of like I was going to school, and I don't know. I like the reason we made the decision for me to do that. Like I did correspondence and finished school and did all that, but I don't know. We kind of sat down with my mom and dad and my principal and all that sort of stuff, and they were just like, I don't know, Harley, you have like real talent and you can do this, but you can always go back to school. You can't be 30 years old and go back to wakeboarding, you know?
Yeah.
But
If
I want to go back and
decision.
study, yeah, it was. I mean, it was a tough decision at the same time because, I mean, it's a sport and anything can happen in a sport. You can get injured, stuff can happen. And I was young, so I was like up and leaving my mom and dad and stuff at 14 years old and like prime years where I probably needed guidance, but it worked out.
Were you wild when you went over and you're on your own? I remember watching the old videos, like, was it Norby used to do videos? I can't remember who, but like the old video.
Yeah.
There's one like, I don't know, like did you live with Nicola Butler for a while, maybe?
Yeah, the first year I went to the States. Oh no, second year I went to the States. I lived with Nicola Butler.
Okay, yeah, I remember seeing some like little kind of vlog style videos almost. Like they were like day in the life or something from there.
Yeah. I used to love filming with Norby. He would come over just kind of whenever and we'd mess around and go film for a day. But yeah, I wouldn't say I was that wild. Like I was honestly pretty grounded and really focused on what I wanted to do. Like I never really, I mean, by the time I was like 16, 17, I was probably having a couple cheeky beverages and whatnot, but I never, not like the kids nowadays. I was just,
I know.
Really. I was really focused on wakeboarding and I really put a lot of effort in. And my parents, like, they made me, or not made me, but they definitely like kept on top of me about like being focused on wakeboarding. And that's what I was over there for and doing all that stuff. And I definitely put in the hard yards.
100%. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, but I mean, even like, it is kind of hard as well at that stage now, probably even more so than there. There was like so many events back to back, like constantly. It would have been hard to kind of let the hair down, and you had the hair. For sure. You had the long hair.
I had the super long hair back then.
Yeah, I remember very well. And then so I don't know. I'm like, because you mentioned there as well when you were talking about like with your principal and stuff, and they're saying it's a sport, like anything can happen, injuries and stuff. And I would have gone ahead and said you had a very long career without major injury, let's say, until only a few years ago with the knee, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think 2016 I tore my ACL, so that kind of threw a spanner in the works. But at the time, I think it was like the perfect thing for me.
Like I actually read an interview where you said that you were like, it was like almost like a break that was needed. Was it? Was that the words you used, or was it?
100%, yeah. Like, I mean, since I was 9 years old, my sole focus was wakeboarding. And even though, like, when I blew my knee, my sole focus was still wakeboarding, but it was just good to, like, transition it from, like, at least, like, somewhat of a change from, like, on the water to in the gym. So I, like, focused on the gym and got fit and just focused on my personal life for a little bit and kind of stepped away. And I wasn't, at the time, like, I wasn't even following the events. Like, if you asked me who won what event, while that was all going on, I just would have been like, I have no idea. Like, I got no idea at the moment.
Can you even keep track of like your own events? Like, you've done that many, like how many you reckon? It must be like over 500 at this stage.
Surely it's a fair bit, but I have a pretty good like recollection of the whole thing.
Okay, and what would be like the stand out ones? Like what, like particular like events? What were the ones you like that? Like if I said like biggest achievement in competitive wakeboarding, what are like the first three that come to mind?
Like winning my first ever Pro Tour stop, which happened to be the first ever Pro Tour stop that I entered in. That was huge.
Yeah.
Like a showdown with Phil Sovin in 2010, where like it came down to like the finals of the Wakeboard World Series. And the previous year, I won the Pro Tour, but I didn't win the Wakeboard World Series. So there was like a showdown, and it came down to like the final event. And Phil and I think we actually tied overall, but because I won the last event, I ended up winning the overall title, and like that's what it came down to. He got second, I got first.
And there was definitely points, but that rivalry was there as well.
Oh yeah, that rivalry was there for years. Winning double or nothing, that was like a dream coming true. The X Games event that we did, the Mastercraft Throwdown X Games event, that was giant, just to get an X Games gold medal.
Masters.
Masters with that perfect run. That was really
the perfect
cool.
Run. That was insane. Yeah, that's
even though I didn't win the event coming back from my knee surgery was like Moomba Masters.
Yeah.
I didn't win. I fell once, like on my second pass, but I came out and I like literally rode better than I had ever rode in a contest before. And I just came back from like 12 months off the water. So
yeah. And like that, and was the injury, like, I know you said like it was appreciated by in some means, but was it like, and there's a lot of people who probably have had this listening to, have had ACL surgery, touch wood. I've been really lucky not to, but like, how bad is it? Like in terms of like pain, in terms of work to get back, is it like
like when I did the injury, it wasn't bad. I didn't do it that bad. I just kind of like, I only partially tore my ACL. I never tore anything else in my ACL or in my knee. Sorry. But there's nothing you can do about it. Like you have to get the surgery because I don't know, it was like 70% torn. And they were like, yeah, most likely. I mean, with what you do, it's going to tear the whole way. And it doesn't like connect back together or do anything like that.
Yeah.
And then basically from day dot, once you get the surgery, it's 8 to 10 months really. Like, I mean, they say 6 months, but there's no way you would jump back on the water at 6 months. Like when I got to the 6 month point, when I got to the 6 month point, I was like, there's no way I can wakeboard right now, especially at the level I was. So I just waited and trained hard. I really didn't do anything on the wakeboard till like 10 months. Like I was just relaxing and but
dead right.
Yeah.
And you said there the level, and that's kind of like the one thing. Like when I remember back to being, let's say, like 12 or something like that, and I knew the level was obviously where it was at, but then like in my head, I kind of had expectations of where the level would go. And being honest, I saw it more like maybe going spin heavy. Like I didn't think the double flip thing would happen so much. But I was kind of wondering, like, how has that been like expectation versus reality of where the level and the progress of, like, let's say boat wakeboarding in general? Or have you ever thought about it?
I mean, I didn't really think about it. Like coming up, I just kind of, I got to the level where I was like one of the top wakeboarders way quicker than what I thought I was. Like I was like 14, and even though I wasn't winning all the comps, I was like doing bigger tricks than like what a lot of the older guys were, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like, I don't know, I got to a point where I was like battling it out with Phil and Rafi and all those kind of guys for a while. And then I guess they kind of were like at the point where like they were getting older, like they're probably where I am now, where I was like, I'm like slowing down. And then there was no one else my age really like doing what I was doing. So it was kind of just like, I don't know, where can I try and take this thing right now? So I was just like learning tricks and doing stuff like that. And then obviously like the Mike Dowdy came around, and that's when I think like me and him like really pushed hard and like kind of like jumped into like the double flips and all the double flip variations and whatnot. And now the kids are just coming through and kind of taking it to the next level, like Corey Tunison and Tyler Heim. And I think like now it's kind of like nearly plateaued out with like how technical you can get on a wakeboard. Yeah. Like with spin variations, like 1080s. And I mean, yeah, guys are doing them and whatnot and doing them consistent. And the double flips, I think, I don't know, there's only so much time you have in the air. So now you see a lot of those kids that like the era of wakeboarding now is so different. Like all the little wrap tricks and the rewinds, and
it's going way more that route, isn't it? Like really heavily that way. Yeah.
Which I think is cool. It's like they're basically like reinventing all the stuff that we used to, I mean, like all the like sort of littler things on the wakeboard, and then they're building a new platform to build on.
Yeah. Like obviously it used to be like 6 or whatever, like wrap, let's say 3s or 5s, and now it's becoming like wrap heel 9s with like double grabs or whatever, like a lot of insane stuff. Well, something just escaped my brain there about that. Oh, this is a big one, right? So, because I know you're unbelievable at it, and there's so many people out there, including myself, but like I'm terrible at this, but there's so many top pro wakeboarders, and some of the names came up there a minute ago, who only spin one way, and you spin both ways. And I've heard some stories about like contests where it's been like, I don't know, I haven't been there. I think it was one in Tokyo or in like somewhere in Japan, and it was like, Harley just did like a front side 7, and it showed that he spun both ways, and everyone else just spun like the same way in the air. Because a lot of the tricks, you know yourself, so many tricks are so similar.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot like guys that do crow 5s and toe 9s and heel 9s and backman 5s, and just kind of I mean, it's like a tough one. Like I just judged. Well, no, I did judge. Sorry, I commentated at the Masters like 2 weeks ago, and I kind of watched that final. And no offense to Corey and Nick, they absolutely slayed it. But yeah, if I was kind of in the boat and watching, I 100% probably would have put Gunther in first, just because he was so like everything was different.
It's diverse, yeah, exactly, yeah, and it's so much harder. Like I know myself, like 100%. Like I would do, I don't know, I don't like. It's hard to put it in perspective for someone who doesn't know. But like, for example, I would do like a switch turn on, and like this is a very raw example, but like I do switch turn on all day, every day over like a regular toe 7 because like it's spinning the opposite way. It's so much more. But you've got it triggered, and even like you've gone so far as to like whirly dicks both ways, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think differently. I have no idea. Yeah. I think it just came from. I think it came from like a lot of times, like on the trampoline, I would do everything switch. Like everything was kind of switched. Like when I would do the whirly dicks and the 1080s and all that sort of stuff, I would do it switch. Yeah. But then I just kind of like wakeboarding when I was young. I just kind of learned everything regular. So then when it came time to like try it switch, it was like, oh, this is just like the trampoline.
Yeah. I suppose it makes sense. It is, and did you spend a lot of time as a kid on a trampoline?
Oh yeah, that's all I would ever do. I would get home from school and I would just be like, I'm going on the trampoline now, and I'd be on the trampoline for like hours and hours. But nowadays you see me get on a trampoline on the thing for like 45 seconds, I can't breathe.
Yeah, I'm the exact same. My back gets sore. I'm like, oh, why? Yeah, that is so funny. And so, how come, obviously Moon's Masters on, you were saying you're commentating. Was it just with the wedding and everything that you came up that you decided not to ride in it, or is there other stuff going on there?
Yeah. No, that was it really. It was just like the wedding and the pregnancy and all that sort of stuff. And I don't know. I like hadn't really been riding too much. I kind of had like a heavy 2 weeks before the comp riding. And I was riding decent, but not like at 100%, that's for sure. Yeah. And I just kind of like, I don't know, with all the stuff that was going on with like the wedding and the pregnancy and all that sort of stuff, like I wanted it to be like a super happy time in my life. So the couple of days before, I don't know. And like, even though I don't show it too much, like sometimes when I lose an event or don't do like ride my best or whatever, I kind of like take it to heart. So I just made the executive decision to be like, I don't know, I'm going to stand this one out, go down and enjoy it, have fun with everyone, watch all the boys ride, cheer them on. And then just kind of, I don't know, my wedding was coming up like the next weekend. So I was just like, I'll just go into my wedding with like a happy mindset and all that sort of stuff. And that's kind of exactly what I did. And the other reason I even went to Melbourne is because I wanted to buy my fiance at the time a wedding present, and it was down there, so I had to go down there and get it.
Okay, so you had to go anyway. Okay, and what about when you're on those like sidelines, for want of a better word? Was it like, were you like, because I've been at comps before, I'm not riding, I'm like, I actually love to be out there right now. Like, did you get the itch, or was it okay? Were you able to separate yourself from it?
Well, I actually, for sure. Like watching the quarterfinals and all that sort of stuff, I was like, oh, I probably could have made it. I probably would have been fine. Actually, I should have done it. But then when they asked me, when I commentated the finals, I really enjoyed commentating.
Yeah, it's good fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it was really cool. And the kids, like Gunther started the finals off first right off the dock with like an absolute standout run. And then it just kind of went on from there, and the vibes kept going and the kids were getting into it. And it was a really cool position for me to be in, like commentating and whatnot, because I kind of like as things are unfolding, I can like quickly explain like what's going on, why they fell on that trick. Yeah. Like I think other commentators, I mean, they know the tricks and whatnot, but they don't really understand like what's going on in the trick and why they fell on it, little things like that. So I think that was kind of cool to be able to do that.
Yeah, and you have the insight of like riding with them a lot of the time over the years. So you'll know, like, I don't know if they missed something, or to be honest, I haven't seen it because I wanted to do. I did it last year. I did like for want of a better word, like a reaction type video, and I wanted to do that again this year, but I actually haven't got around to it yet. So I purposely avoided it. Unfortunately, I did see the podiums. I was trying to not see it on Instagram as well. They're completely blind into it, but yeah. And do you reckon you go into like commentating and stuff down the line, or like what's? That was another question. So I don't know what happened. I uploaded a story. It was like I screen recorded off your Instagram, and I was like, okay, do the podcast with Harley Clifford now in a minute. Any questions? And then I uploaded it. It was up there for like an hour, and then it just got deleted. I reckon maybe because it was a screen record. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But there was a question, and it was like, what's next for Harley Clifford? Like, what our life? I think it was life post wakeboarding or whatever. Have you thought that far ahead? I feel like you're quite an intelligent human.
Well, yeah, kind of before the coronavirus, I had a solid plan, but I don't know what's going on now.
Amen to that.
But at the moment, I think we're all just living in a state of, all right, let's just get through this, and then we'll move back on to normal life, and hopefully it keeps going.
Yeah. And so you keep riding, or?
But Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep riding. Like, I'm not gonna stop wakeboarding as of yet. Like, years down the track, it'll probably get to a point where, like, I don't know, I'm not competing or doing anything like that. But probably start to slow down with comps at some point here soon. I mean, I missed the first one this year, but I definitely like plan on doing events this year. I want to come back and have a couple good events and do all that sort of stuff. But just kind of transitioning into more of like a role working closely with my companies and whatnot, which I kind of have like lately, just doing like, I don't know, like product validation and product development, and like a lot of time doing demos and appearances and going to different dealerships and different shops and kind of doing all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm enjoying that for now, but I honestly couldn't tell you where life is going to go. Like I do have a plan to do all that sort of stuff for a while, but yeah, I mean, life can just change like that. And there's so many different things you can do. Like my wife's pregnant now and we got that going on. So I think at some point, especially when the baby starts to get a little bit older, like I'm definitely going to want to spend more time back in Australia so I can be around that. So I don't know. I'll figure it out as it comes. But yeah, I definitely like my plan at the moment is just kind of like work closely with my sponsors and do stuff like that. And I love wakeboarding and I love this industry and I know so much about this industry and I know so many people. So I definitely don't plan on giving it up anytime soon. But
yeah. But you touched on something there that is a question I've seen a lot, and I actually just watched another live stream with Tara Mikasic in it, and like literally like 2 hours ago. And one of the questions on that, it was on Instagram, was about like product design and the board designs and how like kind of the question I feel like sometimes like let's say end consumers or fans or whatever you want to call it, just like normal people like my friends, whatever. The question is like, how much involvement do you have with your board, or are they literally just putting a name on your board? And obviously you've had a good few pro models at this stage. You've also had some like the Remedy, I think, was it the Remedy that had like the weird, like you've had some interesting boards. And so like, how involved are you in that, and what's the kind of process there?
I know like some people probably aren't as heavily involved, but yeah, I've been heavily involved with that stuff over the years. I work closely with Jimmy Redmond, who is the shaper for Liquid Force, and he is a really good friend of mine. I think like Liquid Force has a different design process to everyone else. Like a lot of other people, they're all like CNC machined and they design the boards with machines and stuff like that. But Jimmy Redmond actually just hand shapes the board from a block of foam at the start. And the first time we work together, we come up with ideas for like new shapes and whatnot. And he's a pretty wild man. So he gets so hyped on anything I say to him. And he's like, all right, give me like 48 hours. I'll have something drawn up with what I think you're saying. And he'll shape something out of a block of foam. He'll glass it, just a thin layer of glass. He'll send it to me. I'll carve around on the thing. First jump, I'll snap the thing.
Oh no!
Because they're just weak. They're like, it's like trying to pull out a surfboard and wakeboard on a surfboard. Like if you jump the thing in case of it's gonna snap.
Okay, that's mad.
So, but we'll go through like before we get it right. Like we could go through 10 different shapes.
Okay, yeah.
Before we get it right.
It's like insane skills to learn that. Like product development skills is like people go to like 5-year uni degrees or whatever to learn to be in that position to like have an idea and try and go from like in your brain to physically writing it.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Like especially working with Mastercraft and all the boats and all the different technologies there. Like I mean, I'm some guy that kind of just has spent time on boats and stuff for my whole entire life, and I'm working with like some of the most successful like naval architects in the world. Like sometimes I feel like just because I have so much experience out on a boat and like with wakes and what like a whole design on the boat can change on the wake. Sometimes I like can definitely like help assist those guys into like creating better parts for boats and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're on the front line, for one of a better word. Like you're actually out there probably more hours than anyone as well. Like how many hours do you reckon you spend on the boat in your life? A lot.
Yeah. I'm saying, I don't know. A lot. Just say 2 hours a day, 365 days a year.
Yeah.
700 hours. Yeah. Times. Probably like 14,000 hours on a boat. 20 years, I reckon. I spent 2 hours. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And what's that book? It's like 10,000 hours or something. Makes you a genius in something. Or like a master, I think is the phrase they use. Yeah. So you beat
I'm getting close to doubling that.
I know you're two-folding it right now. That's what's going on.
How many hours do you think you've spent on a boat? Probably like 150
Well, I mean,
being in Ireland?
Yeah, I was gonna say all the boats in Ireland. I spent a lot of time on broken down boats in Ireland.
Yeah.
No, not probably not as many. No, the one thing I'll say here, and like you kind of said it at the beginning there with your family, is it was like a family experience. And although it was that at the very beginning when I first initially got involved, it kind of grew away from that when I started taking it seriously, because like it's pretty grim here all the time. And not that it, like my parents were still the ones who drove, but we don't go out on the boat and chill on the boat and spend like, you know, the way like I see it, like I've been to Australia loads of times and I love it. You just go out on the boat for the day and you bring your picnic or whatever and you bring a few drinks and it's lovely. But like in Ireland, it's like you go, you do your wakeboarding and you get off. Like you don't want to stay on it because it's cold and it's raining and it's miserable. So
I would say definitely for me, it got to that point too. Like it was just my dad taking me and my brothers, and then it kind of got to the point where it was just my dad taking me out.
Yeah,
like when I was like 15. Go out, ride once quickly. Yeah.
And there's probably not a pro wakeboarder out there who's not been in that position.
Oh, exactly. I mean, you can't really make it. You need assistance from your family or your parents, or not someone that can just really help out or whatnot when you're growing up. Otherwise, you're never really going to make it. You need that time on the water.
Oh, that's all it is, really, isn't it? And that's it, yeah. And one day, do you reckon? Obviously, I won't keep you too much longer, but who do you reckon? Like, there's so many kids now out there, like you've referred to them so much. Who do you reckon? Like it's. I'll go ahead and say, like, and you're probably well aware, but you'll be too modest to admit it. Like, you've been probably since like the kind of like earlier generations, you've probably been the biggest impact on the sport, like in the last, let's say, decade, 100%. And like, who do you reckon the next decade is going to be that big, that kind of impact? Do you have any idea at all?
Just kind of depends which direction wakeboarding goes. Like I know the cable thing is becoming huge, and like the being good at cable, being good at boat.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's like a big thing. I think boat wakeboarding, Sam Brown is going to be like the person is. I mean, he already is. Like he's at the forefront of wakeboarding right now, even though he hasn't been winning comps and stuff like that now. But some of the stuff he's been doing on a wakeboard is just out of this world.
But he's been around since like he was 6 or 7 as well. Like I remember in Mandurah in like, I don't know what year, like 2011, like he was just there on the dock, like as like a 5 or 6 year old.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time too. But the kid is amazing on a wakeboard. Gunther Oker is like insane.
I know, like you said, that overall like winch, cable, boat, like just I don't know how he goes from one to the other. It's ridiculous.
And so well, like he can one day be in the finals of a World Comp, top 3, arguably should have came first, and then be at a cable event the next day and win.
I know, it's crazy. Like it's so much, man. But he's on it. Like it's in his travel schedule. Like I particularly noticed, like 2 years ago, I was like, he is everywhere. Like he's literally just doing both tours as such.
And he absolutely loves it. The kid has so much drive and motivation and love for the sport. Yeah. And like he's always creating something new. He's always having fun. He's a really cool kid. I really like him. And then just his personality and the way he holds himself like in public is amazing. So he's such a nice kid. Yeah. And what do you think? What are your thoughts?
I don't know. Again, it depends what direction it goes. I think, I was going to say, I think cable's almost easier to predict who's going to be big. But then again, there's just so many people every week. Like, I don't know if you ever watched JB O'Neill's channel, but he'll just be in CWC posting like different, he does that like raw thing. And there's just like so many names, just like, it comes up on the TV, I'll see it, and I'm like, who's that? And I click in, and they're literally like one of the best cable riders I've ever seen. I'm like, how is that even possible? How do they have no that? But then the only negative thing I'd say against the cable is it is not, and I'm involved in both, is it's not as professional as the boat. Like you guys are like, who was it? Daniel Powers was telling me like he hates it, but it's funny like that. Like now in the wakeboarding in the boat, it's got so like serious and professional. So like all you guys are like eating well, exercising well. You're in the gym. He's like, I went to a tour stop, and he's like, the way he described it, he's like, I was on the tour like every year, and we used to always go out partying every weekend. It was so fun. He's like, and then I was sharing a room, and then I took like 2 years off or whatever, and I was at a tour stop, and everyone's just drinking smoothies. And he was like, what the hell's going on? Like, wakeboarding thing. But like the boat is far more, I would say it's far more professional in that way, whereas on the cable, definitely. And obviously there's some exceptions, like massive exceptions, like Julia Rick or someone. But for the most part, it's definitely more that kind of beach bum lifestyle on the cable at the moment, which could limit it.
Yeah, it could at the same time. But I mean, boat wakeboarding was obviously like that for ages too. And then as it got competitive and as more money got put on the line and whatnot for comps, everyone kind of smartened up their act and was like, well, if I'm really going to make a career out of this, I probably need to put in a little bit more effort if I want to be competitive. And and I think the same sort of thing. I think cable, like, at some point it has to surpass boat wakeboarding because there is more cables going in. There's more stuff like that happening. And once there is like cables everywhere, then they kind of, I don't know, I think we'll see so many wakeboarders and just the opportunity that'll provide for so many people that can't get the chance to go out in a boat and do and can't afford it. Like, it will just open it up like crazy.
And I think it's going to open, like you said, it's going to open doors to new people, like almost on the boat. I don't want to say it's plateau, but it's like it's reached a level, and obviously, but the boat sales are obviously like growing crazily as well. But
well, not right now, but for sure.
No, not right now. But let's say over the last 3 or 4 years, they've been growing. But at the same time, I feel like cable's going to reach more people, and it's going to open the doors to more people because like it's just so much more accessible. I know that's like a really cliche phrase, but it is definitely. So I don't know. Who knows what will happen? But yeah.
Sorry. I think it'd be amazing to be like 15 years down the track and be like an older guy and look down and there's just a cable park in every town.
I know. Hopefully it goes that way. It's getting good though. Like now, even in Ireland, it's not terrible. We have a full-size cable now, which is unreal. It's about 2 hours from my house, but I go there like 2 days a week when it's open because it's unreal. It's like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that's it really. I just wanted to have a little chat. Do you have anything? I don't know. Obviously, it's your array of positivity in the crazy times that are going on now. So it's cool to see. So what are you going to do now? I'm guessing you're not going on a honeymoon.
Yeah, we had to cancel our honeymoon, which is
when are we supposed to go?
Originally we were meant to go we booked a trip to Bali, and we had this cool resort booked. It was going to be awesome. But then Georgina fell pregnant. We went and spoke to the doctor, and they're like, you can't go there due to risk of like Zika virus. So we canceled that a while ago, and then we just booked like a local spot, like an hour south of where we live, called Byron Bay, like this cool resort that we love down there. Yeah, there's this nice resort that we love down there, and we booked that. And I guess like we got on the Monday after our wedding, we called them up and we're like, hey, what's the deal? What's going on down there? And they're like, you can stay, the resort's open, but none of the like facilities are open. You're gonna have to get room service and do all that sort of stuff. And we're just like, all right, we'll just cancel it, and then we'll figure it out at the end of the year. Yeah, got to save some money for this baby anyway, so it's all right.
That's it. Actually, do you know what? It just dawned on me there when you said Byron Bay. I was watching my housemate here. He loves Shammi Vlogs or Xiaomi Vlogs, whatever. I can't say it in the Australian accent. Yeah. And he was watching it one day, and then you were just on it, and I was like, no way.
Yeah, he's a funny dude. He's just a kid that he lives on the Gold Coast, so he's close by, and I've done a couple of things with him. He's came out on the boat a couple of times, but yeah, dude,
is he as wild in real life?
For sure. You know, he's actually like really wild and crazy. Is that the Jackson kid, his friend?
Yeah, that guy's ridiculous. The guy with all the tattoos.
Yeah, but like the way he is on his Instagram and stuff is what he's like 24/7. It's kind of crazy. He's not fake. Like, he's not putting anything on. He's just outrageously weird and funny all the time.
Oh my God. It's actually like, I didn't want to like it. Like the first day they were on, I was like, this is a few months back now. And I was like, oh, just turn that off. Like, that's like, I thought it was like your typical annoying YouTube, like Logan Paul type thing. But then like, they're actually pretty funny. I just think they're sarcastic. Like the humor is really, I think it's really good.
Oh yeah, I think Xiaomi is epic, and he's obviously like super funny and does crazy stuff and all that sort of stuff, but he's really good at stuff.
Is it? Yeah, like have you seen him skate?
Yeah, we played a game of skate one day, and I just was like, oh, this kid's some YouTube kid. He's probably not going to be that good at skateboarding. And he whooped my ass.
He's so good. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. I did a kickflip, and he was like, perfect kickflip, and then he did a tray flip for his set, and I was like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah, I saw him do a laser flip in another video. I was like, what? Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Did he go wakeboarding?
No, but he wake surfed, and he got, and he had, I don't think he had ever done it before, and he got up and surfed without the rope first try. And
I saw that, yeah. And I saw that they used some clips from the States from you. They're like, now Harley's going out, and it was obviously like so choppy. And then the next thing I was like, oh, that's Lake Jessamine there. I don't know if you saw that.
I don't know. I didn't see it. I don't even watch that.
You need to watch it. It's quite funny.
I know. Yeah.
There's a video of him kissing you on the lips as well.
Oh no, you're kidding.
Yeah, it made it into the video.
I swear I said don't post that after that.
I'm just throwing him under the bus now. Anyway.
Oh no.
It's quite funny now, but yeah, no, it's good. It's good fun. Anyway, I'll leave you. Thank you so much for your time. You're an absolute gent. And congrats on everything lately. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, man. Congrats on all your success too. It looks like you've been doing amazing.
It's been for a while. I was until coronavirus. Now it's like everything's like, I was like, what was I going to do the other day? I was like, oh, I really want to get a new couch. And I was like, yeah, I was going to get a new couch. But then coronavirus, so I'll probably hold off for a while. But yeah, after coronavirus, all heads off. Hopefully get under control. And then, but yeah, congrats to everything. Good luck. When's your little baby expected?
The funny thing is the baby's expected on my birthday. Is like the due date.
No way.
September 14th. So
that would be so sick. That'd be awesome.
I know, how ironic. But yeah, who knows? I mean, that sort of stuff is like, can be early, can be late. So
yeah. Well, anyway, good luck with everything. I'm sure I'll see you before then, but good luck with all that if I'm not chatting to you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much to Harley for coming on. As you can see, he's an absolute just pleasant lad from Australia. So thank you again to Harley. And also I have ordered a microphone. One of my friends has given me loads of advice. So I've ordered a microphone. I have no idea how long it's going to take, but hopefully then it will kind of up the quality. And yeah, as I said before in the intro, let us know who you'd like to see in the comments on the next few podcasts and I'll do my best to organise them. But for now, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you soon.